homesteading to prepping to common horse sense, we are College Hill Farm. Welcome back to College Hill Farm. Well, today we are planting peppers. Now, if you follow the channel, you know that I've had some problems with my shoulder, and so my garden's not as big as it's been in a few years. So today we're going to plant peppers. I'm only going to be planting about 60 peppers this time. What the varieties I'm planting, I had to buy my peppers this year. It's one of those things that you just when I started out at this, I've always grown my own from seed, but this year I couldn't do that because I was having problems with this shoulder and some other health issues that I'm just not going to go into. But so I didn't want to I couldn't plant anything, start anything in the basement this year under the lights. So what I opted for was to buy my plants this year. If I didn't even know if I was going to get to do it. So luckily I'm going to get to plant. So I bought my plants this year. And what did I buy? Well, I bought Gypsy pepper. If you remember last year, we tried Gypsy for the first time and I really liked it. It has just a little bit of heat. You know, it's a lot milder than a jalapeno, but it's got a little heat. So when you make something like a General Tso's chicken or something like that, you get a little heat without that overpowering heat. Now, I'm also going to plant one called Big Bertha. I've never grown these. I'm going to give them a shot. I think of the Gypsies, I think I've got 20 plants. The Big Berthas, I've got like probably 20 of those. Then I've got golden bells. I've got about 8 of those. And then the rest of them are a rainbow mix, a sweet rainbow mix of bell peppers. I'm not planting any banana peppers this year. I just don't have the energy to do all that. So that's where we're going to be. Now, by the method I use this pipe planter. Of course, it's 36 inches long, and the end is cut at a 30-degree angle. That allows it so that when you kick it into the dirt, you kick it in from this side, the pointy side. You kick it into the dirt, that keeps the dirt from filling the hole behind it, and then you can drop your plant. But tomatoes, you want to bury them as deep as you can bury them. So when you kick this thing, you kick it real deep. But for peppers, it's not that way. You can't kick it real deep for peppers because the peppers are, let me show you. This is the Gypsy pepper right here. You'll look on the ends, there are no root nodules, okay? There's only leaf nodules. Now on a tomato, there'll be nodules like this all the way up this stem to the first leaves. Peppers aren't that way. Peppers do not grow anything, get it out. Peppers do not grow anything along this stem in the way of roots. They just don't do it. So burying them deeper just makes a place for disease to happen. Makes a place for the cutworms to get at them worse. So don't plant your peppers. You could put a little bit of dirt, but see, there's always going to be a nodule right here, kind of at the top of the ground. Cover to about there and let that be enough. Because if you plant your peppers too deep, they won't do what they should do. So I'm going to show you how to use the pipe planter to do that. Of course, I plant tomatoes with the pipe planter, but I plant them deep, and I plant these peppers only as deep as what I showed you. And it takes a little bit of practice and a little knack to do it that way. And if I get one too deep, I kick a little dirt in and raise it up. So let's start getting these planted. I've already been planting tomatoes today, so planting these peppers too. So let's get at this and get out there and do it. Now, I'm going to plant these peppers somewhere along the range of 18 inches apart. I don't stake my peppers. Some people stake them. I don't. Now, these are going to be in the same row as part of my tomatoes. But now, the way you use the pipe planter, with a tomato, you put it way back here and you kick it way in like that, leaving a big deep hole. Well, with the peppers, you don't want to make that deep a hole. So you just put it up there, kick it a little bit, and then drop your pepper plant. Now see, that pepper's kind of on top of the ground. Cover it, step it in. Now I watered these. These are soaking wet. So as far as what they need today, they won't need anything till this evening. So let me bring you over closer and show you one up close so you can get a better idea. Again, when you're planting tomatoes, you plant deep. But with peppers, you don't want to plant that deep. So take it and get your pepper out, drop it in, and see, it's almost on the top of the ground. You bring some dirt up around it, step it in, and that's it. Okay, now I've got 60 peppers to plant, so I best get at it. Whew. This winter's been tough on old man. Anyway, I'll get back into the swing of things. It'll have to do its thing or it won't. But when I plant my garden, I plant in wide rows. If you'll notice right here, see right there behind me is a row of peppers. Right over here, or I'm sorry, right there's a row of peppers, and right there is a row of tomatoes. And they are basically 6 feet apart. Well, my tractor is 50 inches to go through these rows. So I plant 6 feet apart, 6 to 7, sometimes 8, depends on what the plant is. These are probably closer to 7 or 8 feet apart because I still have to put tomato cages over part of them. So I plant in these wide rows, and what that does is it allows me to cultivate in between here with my tractors, and it cuts down on hoeing. And I've got plenty of ground, so I have plenty of room to do it this way. Now, don't fertilize these for 2 weeks. Tomatoes and peppers are the same way. I do every plant that I grow in a flat. I don't fertilize for 2 weeks. I want that plant to search for the nutrients. In other words, I want those roots to go out from that potting soil. I want them to move out. I don't want them to stay there. I want them in the dirt. Then once 2 weeks is up, those roots have started moving out. When you drop them down the thing, the root ball kind of, if it's good and soggy wet, it kind of flattens out when it hits bottom and sends those roots out to the side, which is the optimum way for them to be placed. Then when you cover it and step them in, it pushes that root ball down. Now I won't water these. They were soggy wet in the flat, so I won't water these until this evening. It's supposed to rain this evening, but if it's not rained by 8 o'clock, I'll come out about 8 and give these all a good drink. And then tomorrow, if it don't rain tonight, I'll come out and do the same thing first thing in the morning. Then I've got to go to physical therapy. But I'll come out and do the same thing first thing in the morning about daylight. And that's it. You know, keep the weeds out, fertilize them. I'll show you how to fertilize them when the time comes. show you how much fertilizer to use. Now, if you like this kind of stuff, this homesteading, do-it-yourself kind of thing, be certain to come on out to the channel and subscribe. We do this homesteading stuff every week, sometimes one, sometimes 5 videos. Just depends on what's going on in the homestead that week. Now, if you hit the little bell when you come to the channel, it'll notify you when we upload a video. We upload every Sunday. Now, with that being said, it's time for me to get on to the next thing, and I think I'm going to do a little plowing.